This second video will be about what you need to get started. I will send you a document that will have a list of these things that you can print out or screenshot to your phone. So when you go out shopping, but right now I just want to run through what I use and what I feel is helpful to make the experience fun and easier on you. So you really don't need anything really fancy, especially when you're beginning. What you have around the house, please use local dollar stores, hardware stores. You really don't need at this point to be spending oodles of money on materials. As your interest grows, as your skill level grows, your budget allows, you can purchase more materials as necessary. So water containers. I just use old mugs because I have them kicking around, or takeout containers, whatever you have. You will need blue, yellow, red, black, and white. So you usually can get a pack of these together, or you can buy them individually. I tend to use a lot of white. I find that whenever you're having a problem or something's happening, white is usually the answer, just to lighten things up. So that's really all you need. If you have other craft paints lying around, you can buy these pretty cheaply of your favorite colors. You can use some of those if you don't want to be mixing paints all the time. I definitely will show you how to mix paints in a later video. X-Acto knife, ruler, pencil, and I like to have a ballpoint pen or a stylus. You don't need this. I just started using this. I've used this because I use them for transferring my images to the canvas or paper. And I'll explain how to do that in a later video. Palette knife. This is my new tool because, as I said, I used to do watercolors a lot more, so I never had one of these. But for acrylics, they're super handy. They're great for mixing your acrylic paint so your brushes don't get all goopy. They can do really cool things for texture, smoothing. I love it. So they come in different sizes. You can buy them again at local dollar stores usually. That's where I think I picked mine up, but I really can't remember. Tape. If you're going to use paper, you will need tape. I suggest you buy the best painter's tape, because if you don't buy the stuff that's removable, then your paper will rip. So make sure you buy a good one if you plan to do the paper route. However, I do recommend that you use stretched canvases. So you can buy these pre-stretched canvases at the dollar store, at craft stores. They're great. They're durable. You can make a multitude of mistakes and paint over on them. They're not going to pill. They're not going to rip. You don't have to prime them unless you want to. I really recommend getting the pre-stretched gessoed canvases when you're beginning, because they're just so much more user-friendly. And then when you're done, you can just hang it on the wall. You don't have to buy frames, matting, any of that. So buy the size that you're comfortable painting. And then as you get more confident, you can buy larger pieces. If you paint smaller, it hides mistakes better, I find. So I've just started making larger pieces, but if you work smaller, then you're going to be a lot happier with your work. And then I put the paper on the floor. Hold on. Paper. So I suggest, if you're going the paper route, you need to buy paper that is thick and durable and textured. You want something that's going to stand up to water and paint. And if you want to remove paint or water, it's not going to start pilling or peeling. or buckling. So paper is great for practice. It's great if you're trying out new things, techniques. So paper is also cheaper. So it's up to you, but I definitely recommend these little canvases. They're fun and easier to use. A sketchbook when you're beginning is really handy to keep track of your ideas. If you want, you can do sketches, you can mix colors and try out things and then make notes on it. It's almost like a visual journal. So I used these a lot when I was beginning, and it was super helpful for me to kind of keep track of my progress and go back and use it as a reference for me. The other thing you need is a hairdryer, for obvious reasons, to dry any paint or water so that you can continue painting. So this is just the one I use from my bathroom. I don't have a special one for art. The other thing you're going to need is reference material. So reference material, I just completed this painting of this gull. And so I took some pictures. We call this gull Gus. Any gull we call Gus and in my family. So here are just 3 reference pictures from a photograph. I took various photographs of him, and then I just printed them out. And then I use these materials to help me with knowing where the lights, the mediums and the darks are, making sure my perspective is good, just creating depth, all of that. This is what I do, and it works really well for me, especially when I was beginning. And then you can actually put, oh, here comes Babu. Hi, Babu. Hold on. You can actually put pencil on here, shade it on, and then you stick it to your canvas. You put it on your canvas, and then you trace over the areas, and it will leave a black mark of the image on. It will transfer it, and I'll show you how to do that in a later video. So having look through your pictures, pick a picture that you really want to paint, something that you have a connection to, something where you like the colors. Yeah, so have a couple pictures ready to go for when you're going to create. Last but not least, you're going, water bottle. Great for keeping things moist and your paint's moist, your paper moist. I recommend just whatever you have kicking around, or they're pretty cheap at the dollar store. Last but not least, palette. This is what I've been using lately. I've heard of artists using a pane of glass. I've heard of people using an old cupboard door. Some people buy a palette. For me, I really find this works. When I'm done, I just wet it and scratch off the dry paint. It's really easy to clean. And then I've been using this other tray on top as my lid. And I know it's not fancy, but it works amazing. I can keep paint in here and it stays wet with all my mixed colors. So I can be working on a piece for a few days, a week, and it's good to go whenever I need it. I don't have to remix colors or try and match colors I did before. So I think that is it for materials. If you have any questions or need any help, like I said, please let me know. And then the next video will be about preparing your paper or canvas, prepared gessoed canvas for your painting.